G'day guys, my name's Chris, this is iRide Taz, and today I'm going to use this metal tube I bought on eBay with some caps and some O-rings that seal quite well actually, and turn it into an E-tank or a fake oil tank holding the electronics on our VL250 bobber build. So guys, this is the tube I bought from eBay. It was cheap. I think it's stainless. I've already experimented with cutting it to make sure that it was durable enough to work with and do the job. Comes with caps, screws and O-rings to seal it all up, and I think it's sold as a time capsule or something like that. I'm not 100% sure, but it was cheap enough to have a go at it, and it fits really perfectly in the frame. I did actually measure it before I bought it. Yeah, so we're gonna get the seat up, we're gonna pull some of the electrics out, and then we're gonna work out how we're gonna mount this, and then we're gonna feed the electrics in and probably put the regulator rectifier on the side or the front or something like that. It's gonna jump around a little bit. There might be a few time lapses because I've never done this before, but in the end, I think we'll end up with something that looks really awesome. Just pull the seat up there. There's the bracket I made for more firmly mounting the seat. I'm real happy I did that, but let's get it out of the way for the moment. What I've found is that these are already threaded for M6, so I'm going to use them. Even though they're not even, it's better to use that than ultimately drill more holes or weld onto this when I don't need to. I found this bracket and I think I'm going to use that. I'm going to cut it down there. It steps down. I'm going to use that to hold the E-tank on and maybe put riv nuts down through the top or something like that. That's the plan. But we need to get some of this out of the way before we can push it through and work out how we're going to mount it properly. This will be a process of trial and error, but we'll start by getting the battery out and out of the way. That may not go back in today because I've got to work out how I'm going to mount that. But let's get the battery out, create some room. Battery we'll just put out of the way for the moment. This battery box looks like it's held on by 10mm. Oop. Yep, so that just pops out there. We may be able to use that later, so we'll be gentle with it. And we'll just maybe unplug that. And there's a hook there. So I reckon that will be one of the main things that feeds into the E-tank we create. What else we got up here? There's a hook up there. That pops out there. And I'm not going to cut any of these tabs off yet. I think we'll leave that until the end and make sure everything works before I detab the frame at risk of messing up. I'm also not sure that this needs to be in the E-tank. It's hidden in there pretty well. But we'll have a look further down the track. We'll just go around the other side. There's a 10mm up in here for the mechanical fuel pump. So we'll get that out of the way. and we'll have to work out maybe at a later date where we're going to mount some of this stuff. Yeah. And there's another 10 mil there. Gets that out of the way pretty nicely. Oh, okay, there's another hook there. And that frees up that to fall around. We'll just clip some of these. Like that. Undo that. And yeah, 10 mils on the regulator rectifier. Cool. That's that out of the way there. Yeah. Actually, I reckon if I cut that one out of the way, it will give us enough room to work, and then I can decide what I'm doing. That one will be easier to weld back on if I mess up here. Yeah, that's gonna work real well. And I may not even actually have to mount the regulator rectifier anywhere else. Yeah. That's gonna sit there. So I might just trim this back proper, and then that could actually sit there. Yeah, this may work out really well. So these are the mounts for the stock side covers, so we might get rid of them too. Oh yeah, that's actually come out real well. We'll just maybe, yeah, might just get rid of that one too. Cool. And maybe that one there. I know I said I wasn't gonna detab it, but right. So I know I said I wasn't going to detab the frame, but here we are. I've detabbed part of the frame. Just grind those down a little bit, neaten it up. Oops. Right, I'll clean that up shortly, but yeah, that's going to work a treat. So we're just going to put the rectifier back in the stock location. They should never go in E-tanks. Some people do, but they can overheat and do a lot of damage. Okay, that's worked an absolute treat. So maybe we go around the other side of the bike and yeah, we'll sort of work on it and maybe detab on the other side. Okay, last time I was over on this side of the bike, I did say I'm not going to detab the bike, but I think I need to, and I think we are far enough into it to really sort of be confident that we're going to be able to make this work. The battery's going to be the tricky one, but there's an absolute ton of room down here. There's absolute ton of room there. So there's plenty of options, that's for sure. Let's detab. Let's get it done with. Been having a real good look at this box, and I think it's going to fit exactly where I need it to. So what I plan on doing is cutting that off, cutting that out there, and cutting them off, and potentially drilling through and mounting it down deep in the frame. There's a couple of tabs that I think were for a center stand or something like that, something that didn't come out on the Australian model. They're just sitting there and they look ideal location to mount the battery, and I think I might be able to use the standard battery box to do that. So let's get into it. Right, so that's going to go down in there, and I've just overlised one of the holes to make it slightly adjustable. It's just got an M6 and a washer. Just gonna post that down through. Yep, pokes out the other side nicely. Probably just going to put a cable tie down. Put the battery back down in there. Well, that is a resounding success. That is in there, absolutely in there. Here's this old or number plate bracket. And these beauties are threaded, so it'll be easy. Yep, just gonna need some washers, that's all. So I'm gonna put a 6mm Allen key, a spring washer and a washer, and it's a threaded insert, so I don't need to try and find the back of it. And that gives a huge degree of adjustability. Just grab another one. Got to try and work out which way the hole is going to go. Probably going to have to go in the back, I think. So we'll put the hole at the back and we'll thread whatever we can in there. Other stuff can go underneath if need be. I'm going to enlarge this hole a bit. Nice. Yeah, that's going to work well. When we'll put that at the back, no one will know. That's worked real well. We'll just clean that up with the flap disc. Okay, so I've just got some M6 Allen bolts, spring washer, no lock nut. To hold these on. I'm just gonna clip this wire and elongate it so it will reach down. We'll cut it about there. And we'll clip it about there. Clip that there. Cool. So I've just clipped that wire. We'll put the solder sleeve on there and there. And just melt that. Perfect. That there. Cool. So that's extended there. There's the positive reaches. Connect up the negative. This is still coming together pretty well. Like I'm really happy with this. We might put this side cap on. Oh, I've even got the equipment. That's pretty cool. Some gloves so you don't put your fingerprints on it. Oh, look at this. I don't know. This is actually pretty cool. Okay, so that was pretty fiddly, but we got them on. Yeah, that's that side sorted. Let's go around the other side because we're probably going to have to put the fuel pump somewhere. I think I'm going to put the fuel pump there. There's plenty of room. Yeah. Now, let's put this cap on, because I think we might be done. Just go round and put these on. It's fiddly. If that felt like an all-day epic, because it was. Yeah, just zip tie that up in there. Oh yeah, I am pretty happy with that, guys. That's come together pretty well, actually. I wonder what I've got to just finish these holes up. There. Yep. Okay, nice. Nice. So guys, that turned out to be an all-day epic, but I'm stoked with the results. Really, just, it's awesome. I'm sorry, that's my own work, but I really do think it's come out really well and just looks the goods. We relocated the battery down here, used the stock plastic battery box, reconfigured it and just mounted it to a couple of mounting points that seem to be used for a center stand or something like that on a different market motorcycle. Australian VL250s never came out with a center stand. It was maybe available as a aftermarket accessory, but yeah, I've never seen one, never heard of it, but it was a great mounting point for the battery. I lengthened the cable so that the negative reached, positive reached at the stock length. Here's the tube. I think it's a time capsule or something like that. Got it from eBay. I think it was about 50 bucks, and I cut a hole in the back of it up in here, and it's now an E-tank, and all the fuses and electronics are posted up in there. Anything that didn't fit is now just grouped together down there, and I gave a couple of the plugs just a lick of black paint to hide them a little bit. On the other side, I actually left this rectifier, the regulator rectifier, in the stock position, and just trimmed it down a little bit, took some tabs off. It goes up into the E-tank up there. I'll just put a lick of paint on that. So guys, there's the install of the time capsule e-tank. I couldn't be happy with it. I really think it's come up well, and it suits the look of the bike, and it's nice and narrow and tucked in. I like where the batteries ended up. Yeah, there's a few things I will touch up off camera, maybe just grind down some of these tabs a little bit better and touch them up. But it's all there, proof of concept, it works, the electrics worked, and it's all tucked up. And the bit I was actually worried about was the relocation of the battery, and that was like a 10-minute job. Yeah, looks great. I'm just so stoked with it, it's not funny. It was an all-day epic and I'm exhausted, but there it is, guys. I hope you like it. I hope you enjoyed the video. It's probably a long one, so thanks for sticking in there. If you could support me by liking, commenting, subscribing, sharing it around, support my sponsors, chopthebob.com.au, and use IROTAS on checkout. Videos, as you know, guys, are Tuesday at 3:30 p.m. Australian Daylight Savings Time. Yeah, till I see you next Tuesday, guys, I am out.